everyone. Thank you for joining us this wonderful Wednesday morning. I am Clarissa on behalf of the Philippine Sports Commission Women in Sports. Welcome to the 8th and final episode of Rise Up, Shape Up for the year 2020. We are definitely grateful for your support through the whole run of these series, and we've saved all of our Thanksgiving later. So here's to hoping you'll stay tuned in until the end of the show. Now, our episode spotlight is dedicated to the women who have aged gracefully and continue to live their lives to the fullest through their golden years. As we all know, our dietary needs and physical activity requirements change as we age or as we progress in life. Now, women especially need to manage their health better later in life, as studies show that they are more prone to heart disease, osteoporosis, Alzheimer's, depression, anxiety, and hormone changes. Gender-focused health care is definitely important. It's impressive that our guests for today are doing well in their golden years, and I'm curious to know how they manage to maintain a healthy glow despite their age. Now, I am definitely thrilled to introduce our first guest today. She is an internationally renowned, well-respected, and most decorated Filipino athlete of all time, having earned 78 medals for the country in 28 years of her career, winning 10-pin bowling world championships 4 times, and being named one of the greatest international bowlers of all time by the Bowlers Journal International is such a great feat. Now, can you guess who our guest is? Well, without further ado, it is my honor. Let us all welcome Miss Bong Ku.
Hi. Morning to
Good
everyone.
morning, Miss Bong. Well, it's
Oh,
such an honor to have you here on Rise Up and Shape Up. So, shall we get the ball rolling?
sure.
Okay, the first question is, how did you transition from a very active athlete lifestyle to transitioning into a more relaxed, quiet life as a retiree?
Actually, the transition was not difficult kasi I was already preparing for my retirement. So I got involved. Actually, ang life ko is about bowling, di ba?
Yes,
And
yes.
I've already reached a full circle from an athlete, naging instructor coach ako. And ngayon
Mhm.
I am with the international I'm with the organization. I am the Secretary General of the Philippine Bowling Federation, which is
Mhm.
the National Sports Association for Bowling, affiliated, and we are recognized by the International Bowling Federation, by the POC, and the PSC. So actually, ang ginagawa ko ngayon ay monitor the training and all the activities of the national team.
So
And
bowling is still life for you.
yes, I think after being an athlete for 30 years, I think para bang nasa bowling ako more than half of my lifetime. So nandun na, everything is about bowling.
It's
Actually,
just
I was
about bowling.
doing business before retirement. I used to be a distributor of a very large firm. I was building bowling centers, and I have also a bowling apparel
Mhm.
business. And then I was also, even after my retirement in 2000, bowling pa rin ako sa seniors, di ba? In fact, nag-represent pa nga ako sa country, sa seniors, sa Taiwan and Japan. And I won also a couple of tournaments as a senior. Lay low lang ako after already so many years dahil sa nga I got involved with the organization. However, I continued to be a mentor to the youth.
Uh-huh.
Kasi ang advocacy ko, nagpa ko ng bowling instructions group, the
Mhm.
Responsibility Limited, with my sons and some of our bowling friends. So, katapos, nag-form kami ng youth club, the MBA, Magallanes Bowling Association, Sari Manox. Ang naging advocacy ko, tulungan yung mga mga children ng mga OFW na ang parents sila nasa overseas, usually Middle East, pero sila nandito nag-aaral at saka they're both bowling. Dahil ang bowling is the sport of most of the OFW. So nakaka-relate sila sa parents sila, di ba? I was helping them be closer to their parents through bowling. And in fact, ang naging goal namin is to be able to come up with some champions na pwedeng maging national team. In fact, I was very successful. Meron akong isang OFW kid na naging national team, yung isa naging junior team. Oo. Meron din, at saka mga nag-champion din sila. Until now, yung pa rin, if not for the pandemic, we continue to train youth bowlers because I'm still looking for my heir apparent, actually.
Yeah, so you're still very busy, actually. So retirement actually didn't slow you down. So
what I also did was I joined a Catholic charismatic group, the Elim communities. That is also for my spiritual growth. Diba? You get to
of course.
Want to know more about Jesus, more about Mama Mary. So I got involved also, and I did some missions. Nagme-mission din ako. Sumasama din ako sa mga missions. So yun ang naging transition. So it was a very busy life. And hindi ako masyadong na-depressed o ano.
True.
Nasa bowling center po rin ako halos araw-araw.
Okay, so it's kumbaga the focus has shifted from being the athlete to the mentor of the athlete, basically. Yes. So it's just a shift of roles, but it's still within the bowling world, kumbaga.
Yeah, because I think that's where I'm good at. Even in the bowling apparel, diba? Mas madali siguro ako hanap ng clients because they would believe that bowler ito, so malalaman niya fit in a bowling uniform, ang klaseng bowling uniform, so mas madali ako makakabenta ng uniforms if I were a bowler.
So next question po, ma'am. Okay, so obviously you're busy. Even in retirement, you're still a very busy person. So can you please describe your physical activities now?
Now, during the pandemic, alam mo naman, pandemic, house arrest.
Yes, because it's an entirely different situation right now.
Talaga, doon ako nag-adjust.
Versus pre-pandemic, wala masyadong adjustment. But now at the pandemic.
Stay home. I couldn't imagine myself just staying home. But of course, I have to go through all the protocols. So, anong araw ko ngayon? In the morning, of course, when I wake up, morning prayer, diba? Tapos I do my stretching exercise. Tapos I clean my room kasi bawal na pumasok ng kahit na sino sa kwarto ko. So I do the cleaning of my room and I feed my pet cats.
Okay.
Yun ang doon ako naaliw sa kanila, sila ang kausap ko. And I get in touch with my kids by, mabuti kami, text messages, video calls, di ba?
Yeah, so, the technology, it helps.
Kaya sabi ko, nag-hello kami every day. And then I check my emails kasi tuloy pa rin naman. I still monitor the national team. Meron din kami mga Zoom meetings ng Philippine Bowling Federation. So I check my emails and then I go walk in the park. So
okay. So somehow you still find a way to stay active.
Within the village lang. So umiikot ako sa football park. Yun ang exercise ko sa hapon. Tapos in the evening, I watch feel-good movies. Ayoko yung mga violent. Kasi syempre, nasa kwarto ka na nga, tapos may stress ka pa. So I try not to be stressed. And of course, I end the day with the prayer. That is basically what happens on a daily basis. Business-wise, tuloy pa rin yung apparel business ko. And although medyo mahina, because of
Yes, of
course all the
course.
sports activities wala these days. Most of my
Yes.
clients now are overseas, so I still get in touch with the shop even through video calls and
Mhm,
messaging.
mhm.
So busy pa
So,
rin, pero ang hirap lang yung house arrest.
yeah. So it's a little bit more challenging ngayon
Yes,
than
yes.
before. Yeah. Okay. So, as a mentor, as a multi-awarded athlete, what advice can you give younger athletes so that they too can age gracefully?
Siyempre, dapat ang approach, di ba, retirement holistic pa rin siya, di ba? Dapat may
Opo.
physical, may emotional, social, spiritual, and intellectual. I would suggest that, advice ko lang, please continue your physical activity after retirement. Alam mo, meron lang akong regret kasi ako, medyo after my retirement, sabi ko, wow, every day I was in the gym, I was there doing this, at tapos ang mga kinakain ko. So medyo sabi ko, hindi muna ako mag-gym. So medyo nag-gain weight ako. So that was my biggest regret. Dapat hindi. As you age, the more dapat mas fit ka. So mahirap na humabol. So
Mhm.
always continue with your physical activity. As you age, you go probably walking, stretching is very important, and kung pwede mag-gym, why not, no? And eat healthy food, siyempre, yun lagi ang sinasabi. The PSC would give us a list of the food that we have to take, which is healthy. So please continue following that list, and drink a lot of water, hydrate. That is very important. And also take all your vitamins. Ako, I take B, C, D, magnesium, calcium. Ang dami kong iniinom na vitamins, puro supplement. Kakataba, no? Kasi as you age, the more you should have this supplement. And also take plenty of sleep. Ngayon, since I'm always in the room, medyo madami-dami yung sleeping ko. I sleep a lot. And keep your mind active. Ang ginawa ko sa akin to keep myself active, yung mga pinapanood ko K-drama kasi may subtitles. So,
Ah,
pag pinabasa mo yung subtitle, active pa rin yung mind mo, hindi lang naka-focus sa movie. So, that's what I do. Pag other times naman, what I do is, meron ko wordscape sa aking mobile. So, I do wordscape. So, to keep my mind active. And also, I read the Bible. Yun basically, I would suggest that they do. Tapos, of course, pray unceasingly because it's only with your connection with God that you will have less stress. Diba? That is, so that you won't be worry free. Hang on to Jesus. And I please regularly meet with your family, laugh a lot, and smile a lot. Kahit na during this pandemic, kahit na ang feeling mo, may pag-asa ba or what, depressing, di ba? Pero try to overcome it by smiling a lot. If you're with friends, di ba, usually chit-chat, tawanan. Even by video call, get in touch with them. And siguro have a skincare routine as you age para walang wrinkles. Diba?
wow.
So, yung basically ang ma-advise ko sa kanila. Sana we get through with this pandemic. Sana sporting activities will be back. And hopefully everything will be fine in God's time.
Oh yes, wow! What a very holistic approach to aging gracefully. Very holistic, not only to take care of the physical and mental, but also the spiritual as well.
Yes.
Anyway, my last question: what is your dream for the sport of bowling in the coming years?
Alam mo, what I've contributed for the sport, sana hindi mawala. So, the legacy should always be there. My biggest dream is that bowling organization, since I'm with the bowling organization, sana yung hindi namin nakuha nung time namin makuha ng mga national players ngayon. My dream is to have a national training center na talagang high-tech, na world-class, na we can
Oh,
compete with the
yes.
world. When the team went to the United States a year ago, we went to the USBC training center. Oh boy, nakita mo talaga. Uh, so nice na lahat ng detalya, electronically, makikita mo na talagang matitrain ka mentally, physically, even emotionally, no? So, sana meron tayong ganon. At saka sana ang mga coaching staff natin na certified mas marami at we can focus on the youth. Sana din
Oh, true.
itong sports academy na magkakaroon daw ng sports academy sa Clark sabi nila, and I hope na they will include bowling in the sports academy kasi yun ang nangyayari sa Singapore, sa Malaysia, and they've been world class already now. Naiiwan na nga kami eh. So sana sana maibalik 'yon. Yun ang tingin ko ang potential, ang skills nasa atin, nasa mga youth ngayon, no. Ang kulang na lang is yung training nga na maayos at saka yung masama kami sa maraming tournament. Kasi I've been handling the PE class of the College of Human Athletics UP for about 8-10 years na ata ngayon. Ang hindi nga lang kami makakuha ng masyadong potentials doon kasi mga scholars sila eh, di ba? For if you say, marami kami nakikitang pwedeng maging national player. Kaya lang, paano sila magsa-training? Wala silang training center na pwede sila maglaro ng libre. So, hindi sila nakakatuloy. Sana meron ganon. Kasi bowling, sadly, is quite an expensive sport.
Yes, it's true. I agree with you on that.
If the Philippine Sports Commission would have a bowling training center, we can practice for free. We can bring more potential bowlers to come. Maibalik natin ulit ang bowling in the world map. At makakompete ulit tayo at manalo ulit kahit sa Southeast Asian Games and the Asian Games. Yan ang dream ko.
Yes,
I hope I can be instrumental to it, and I hope I can contribute my whatever I've been through, anong mga pwede kong may bahagi sa kanila.
Well, I hope that your dreams will somehow materialize, your dreams for the Philippine youth, because it's true that we do have good potential for bowling, and yes, and I share your hopes, like I'm on the same page with you with your hopes kasi actually po I grew up, my dad used to bowl as well. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, but just for leisure, and I kind of got into it too. So, yes, I enjoyed bowling, pero yun nga lang po, medyo expensive.
Yun na nga. Kaya nga, sana nga maroon kami ng training center. At saka, yes, it's really very good to be involved in sports, ang mga youth ngayon. Kasi it develops your character. And that's what also we instill sa mga youth namin. Hindi lang, meron kaming mental coach, meron kaming strength and conditioning coach, at we have physical game coaches. So, ang kulang na lang sa amin, siyempre, yung funding, sponsorship. So our chairman, Senate President Soto, has been helping out. And we hope that things will be better next year pag sumali ulit ang team sa Southeast Asian Games sa Vietnam. And we hope we can win the gold this time.
Thank you so much, Miss Bongku, for that awesome and inspiring sharing. And I really do hope that, yes, the bowling, bowling culture will grow further in the Philippines, because I myself enjoy the sports. I like bowling as well. It's just that, yes, I understand that a lot of the youth, as much as they want to bowl, it's kind of hard to get into the sport because it requires facilities talaga. Like it does require facilities, and
World
it's a
class
little bit pricey. Yes, it requires first class facilities. But most importantly, thank you for sharing your tips about aging gracefully, and how, you manage to stay active despite being, a retired athlete.
Thank you so much too for this interview. And I miss you all, and God bless to everyone.
Yes, God bless din you po. Hope to see you soon. Thank you so much, Miss Bonku, for that awesome and inspiring sharing. Definitely, to age gracefully, you must have a holistic approach, and definitely, you need to stay active. Now, moving on to our next speaker, she is currently the president of the Gymnastics Association of the Philippines and the former undersecretary of the Department of Tourism for Sports and Wellness. She has numerous local and international awards, including the 2003 Best Women in Sports in Asia by the International Olympic Committee in Lausanne, Switzerland, and 2009 Personal Fitness Trainer of the Year, confirmed by IDEA USA. In 2016, she was named as one of the 100 most influential Filipino women by the Global Filipino Women's Network. Let us all welcome the chair of Corregidor Foundation Incorporated, Miss Cynthia Carrion.
Can you grow younger as you age? That's a very good question, because I feel we can. I will start with the only 5 steps and then continue to explain the 5 steps to age gracefully. It's very easy because A, B, C, D, E. You just have to know your alphabets. A, accept your responsibilities. Acknowledge that you are all in charge of your mind and embrace the power of your mind. Now, B, believe. Believe you are here for a reason or purpose, and live for that reason, that you are special and someone who is loved by God. C, number 3 is C, choices. Make choices. This is to be done even if it's very difficult. Even if that choice is very difficult and depart from what you want in life. But if it's good for you, you take that choice. And D is detachment. Do not have detachment. Do not expect detach from sharing. Just want what you have. Don't detach yourself to things that you cannot have. Then you will not be happy. And E is enjoyment. Enjoy whatever you do. Like all of you are doing this video, enjoy it. Enjoy your relations, your friends, your life. Enjoy, and then and always be happy. That's what I say. Keep your smile, leave the tension, feel the joy, hold the peace, leave the pain, and always be happy. That is a way to always age gracefully. If you are not happy, it will be seen in your face. I say, Jack LaLanne, the exercise guru way back. Maybe you guys don't even know Jack LaLanne, but Jack LaLanne said, exercise is the king, nutrition is the queen, and you have a kingdom of health and wellness with exercise and nutrition. There's nothing you cannot do. You have the power of the mind. For me is very important. When you need these 5 different steps to get there, all of us are uniquely different, and we all need to take the right steps. Make exercise a way of your life. When I say exercise, I do not say hard exercise, just move, put music and dance with the music, have fun. You know that one of your questions, I know that, is how did I start exercises? Is because I was still very small, and I used to see my mother just jumping like that, no music. And I was a little girl, and I said, Mommy, why don't we put music and let's dance with the music, so that instead of jumping. That's how I started exercising. I used to exercise with my mother with music. And even if you're depressed, If you have stress, put music, music that you love the most, and you will be happy. And then just to remove that stress from you. And I will tell you, the sickness industry is reactive. Despite its enormous size, people become customers only when they are stricken by and react to a specific condition or ailment. No one wants to be a customer of the sickness industry. Now, the wellness business industry is proactive. People voluntarily become customers to feel healthier, to reduce the effect of aging, and to avoid becoming a customer of the sickness business and to prevent from developing in the first place. It is clear that wellness is about to change in our lives. It changes our lives. Like the automobile revolution changed the lives of the people because now they have automobile. And the next revolution was the IT revolution, the computer revolution. It changed our lives. And what's changing in our lives now is the wellness revolution to keep us healthy and happy all the time. Okay? So, most of us, I will tell you, most of us are trapped within our own prison. We're trapped. A lot of us are trapped, being either malnutrition or overweight. Malnutrition occurs to be to the point that people live with constant headaches, body pains, stomach, distress, heartburn, fatigue, arthritis, diabetes, stress, and hundreds of other ailments. Which medicine wrongly tells us to accept as a symptom of aging. That's because you're getting old, you have those ailments. You don't have to have them. Really, you don't have to have this. And you accept it. We're trapped. We're accepting it. You do not accept it. You can fight it. That is how we age gracefully. Even children are experiencing stress nowadays. Medical companies sell consumer pills, so-called better products, aspirin, laxative, so that they react only the symptoms while it reacts to the symptoms while ignoring the causes. Why are you feeling that way? Okay, I will tell you. I will explain to you about this. This is a glass. I don't have a water here. Okay. How do I call it? I want to get a water. Let's pretend this is full of water. Okay. I will ask confidently. I'll ask all of you how does this glass with water weigh? Of course you will feel that I'm going to ask you about the half full, full, empty, full. This has nothing to do with this. This glass of water, 8 ounces. Okay. Now, the absolute weight doesn't matter. Why? It depends how long I have to hold it. If I hold this for a minute and drop it, it's not a problem. I will feel nothing. If I hold this for an hour this way, it will ache my arm. Okay? If I hold it for a whole day, you'll have to call an ambulance because my arm will be numb already if I hold this filled with water with a whole way. That is what stress is all about. You cannot hold it. You cannot keep it within yourself the whole day. You have to release it. Release that. It's like your thing. That's what I'm trying to explain to you about stress for the children. You have to release. Now, I say, if you are in your 60s and in the wellness industry, you will feel 40. You will look 40 and feel 20. But if you are not in the wellness industry, you will look 70 and feel 90. So live wisely and enter into the world of wellness. I have great satisfaction in passing all my passion and lifestyle philosophy to you and to others and see them develop not only physically, but more generally to their whole lifestyle, and to improve your physical and mental health. That's the most important thing for me.
Thank you so much, Miss Cynthia, for that wonderful sharing. And I really love the analogy about the water and holding on to stress and how it should be released. It's just like a glass of water that needs to be put down every
Yes.
once in a while.
Correct. Good morning, Claire. Nice to see you again after the long 10-year
Yes.
absence.
Yes. For after 10 years, and you still look as amazing.
I thank you so much, and you do too.
Well, ma'am, okay. How do you, what is your one piece of advice that you can give your viewers on aging gracefully, and what would that be?
The most big advice that I will give all of those people is your power of the mind. All of you have to realize that your mind is so very powerful. Anything you want, you can get with your mind. When I was teaching exercises, you will not believe it, because I was the only teacher and I couldn't get sick. I did not get sick for 10 years, not even a cold, because my mind told me not to get sick. See, the power of the mind. That's what I tell my athletes. That's why I have an athlete that will go to the Olympics. Believe in yourself. Know that you can do whatever you want to do. That's the best advice I can give all of you.
Thank you so much for sharing, and hopefully we can have you guest again some other time so that we could discuss more of your secrets in staying so youthful and so vibrant and being so graceful about age. Thank you so much, Miss Cynthia, and I hope to see you soon. Stay healthy and keep safe. That's definitely a very insightful sharing, Miss Cynthia. Oh, I always have admired how you have maintained to look so fabulous all through these years. You are truly an inspiration, and we thank your contribution to the Philippine sports and wellness. Speaking of Thanksgiving, we are very grateful to all of our viewers for tuning in and participating in our activities. To put the highlight back to them, here's a video of our Pocari Sweat winners.
Hey guys, we finally received the Pocari Sweat giveaway package, and we will unbox this right now. So we have 24 bottles in one box. Yes, and don't forget to stay hydrated and drink your water as always. Thank you, Pocari Sweat. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Pocari Sweat. Thank you, Pocari Sweat, for this giveaway, guys. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year.
Thank you so much, Pocari Sweat.
Tanggap na po namin ng Pocari Sweat. Maraming salamat po.
Stay hydrated.
Drink Pocari Sweat all the time.
Now we move on to announcing the winners of our Pocari Sweat gift pack winners for the week. Their names are going to be flashed on the screen. Thank you for answering our feedback form and sharing with us your thoughts on the show. We'd like to give a shout out to Pocari Sweat Philippines for sponsoring our gift packs. Thank you for your generosity to our viewers. Okay, are you ready for our next segment? This time around, We'll be learning more about aging gracefully from a fellow of the Philippine Geriatric Medicine. Let us all welcome Dr. Florosita A. Reyes.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning, and I would like to thank the Philippine Sports Commission and the Women in Sports for the invitation and being a part of this advocacy. Okay, for this morning, I was tasked to discuss with you about the key or the tips on how to embrace golden years with ease, grace, and ease. So our objective is to discuss trust strategies for senior citizens on how to keep themselves healthy as they age. Okay. Now, there's a saying that establishing health lifestyle behaviors throughout your life influences optimal aging. So for today, we are going to discuss the key on how to embrace the golden years as we go along. Okay, so they are, the first one is attitude, is everything. Eating healthy, get fit, brain health, be social, tune in to times, stay safe, know your numbers, manage your stress, sleep, and taking time for you. Okay, so according to Seneca, a Roman philosopher, as for old age, embrace and love it. It abounds with pleasure if you know how to use it. The gradually declining years are among the sweetest in the person's life. So while you age, don't lose hope. No, there's hope. So what you only need to do is to embrace and love it and to know how to be useful at your golden age or golden years. Okay, so the very first key is of aging before anything else is to check your attitude. They said that attitude is everything. Okay, that is the power of mind over the body. Okay, so we have to maintain a positive attitude in order to gain an optimal aging. So the first we do is accept change. No, there is a most of us probably have heard the serenity prayers, and it says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay, so there is a lot of wisdom in that prayer. So that says, trust God. You have to accept any change in your life. Now, the second thing is ageism. Ageism is the negative stereotyping of older adults. Yun yung parang yung negative discrimination, negative generalization or negative concept of the elderly. So usually ang tawag natin pag umiidad, amoy lupa, matandang hukluban, mga ganun. So mga negative attitude or negative attitude natin towards our senior citizen. Okay? So the next is stay mentally healthy. So meaning we have to watch out for depression. Usually as you go along, as you grow, as you age, especially yung mga merong death of a spouse, loss of the independence, you have a health problems, you become parang physically disabled. So depression comes in. So depression is not a part of a normal, take note, depression is not a normal or necessary part of aging. Okay, so we might as well do something, manage our depression or negative aspect in our lives. And the fourth one is do things that make happy, that makes you happy. Okay, so choose to be happy. Remember, no, what they said about mind over the body, diba? So another tip is do something you love every day. I mean every day, huh? And then you can do this by making friends, communicating, make some communications. But right now po medyo mahirap makipagkaibigan sa mga kapitbahay because of the social distancing, physical distancing that we are having right now. But I think there are a lot of ways wherein we could make friends, no? Later on, we will be discussing about that. Okay. Next is eating smart and healthy. So there are ways to be to be healthy, no, through our nutrition. So we have to examine your relationship with the food. We have to eat a variety of nutritious food, and please don't skip breakfast. Okay, you have to control a portion. Some all these with old adults would take a lot of food, a lot of eating, overeating, iba naman undereating. So just take it everything in moderation, okay? Now, next is drink more water, and as much as possible, avoid alcoholic beverages, especially in your 50s and beyond, no? And then you have to fight for cholesterols, okay? And then next is say no to excess sodium. There are some regions who are really very maalat, salty na ang pagtimpla ng kanilang mga pagkain. So always bear in mind, no to the excess sodium. Then also consume less sugar, okay? And then carb up the healthy way. You eat carbs that are good enough, no? And then count on your calories. Be aware of the calories that you are putting in your body, okay? The next is get fit, okay? So this is another key to embrace your golden years. Be physically active. Actually, there are 4 categories of exercise we have. It is divided into 4. The first one is the balance. So when we talk of the balance, it would help you prevent falls. Okay, these are common to our older adults. So mamaya minsan nakikita natin na pinupunta ang mga pasyente sa hospital because of the falls incident. This is the major cause of the broken hips. Okay, so there are exercises that we can do for the exercises when it comes to balance, no? So this has something to do with yoga, the Tai Chi, if you heard about that. Tai Chi is the moving meditation, and it involves the shifting of your body slowly, gently, precisely, while breathing deeply. Yan. Okay, so Tai Chi and yoga. Another type of exercise are those with the endurance exercises. It would increase your breathing and your heart rate. So an example are yung mga aerobics, yung mga aerobic movements, no? This can improve our health or your lungs and the circulatory system as well as your heart, okay? An example is our walking, jogging, dancing, swimming, climbing, meron ding biking. Okay? So try to be active throughout the day and then avoid sitting. Avoid sitting for a longer period of time. Sabi nga sa DOH, sa Department of Health, galaw-galaw, baka pumanaw. Yan yung advocacy ng Department of Health. So dapat we have to avoid sitting for a long period of time. Okay. The next is strength training. Okay. This has something to do with building your muscles, and you need this for a good circulation to maintain your healthy weight. Okay. So this would also prevent, other studies would suggest that this would prevent progression of osteoporosis. So an example is yung strength. We have the lifting, pushing your free weights. You have to pull the resistance bands, okay? And kung kaya, yung strength training equipment sa mga fitness center or a gym, kung kakayanin. And then we need to be flexible. Stretching exercise, the last, no? It's the stretching exercise to keep your body flexible by stretching the muscles and tissues, and that holds your bones together. Okay, so an example ng stretching, you have to do some stretch exercises that includes your shoulder, your back, the upper arm. You need to have a calf stretch and hamstring stretch. Yan. So baka later on we can have some demo on that in the future. Now, how much exercise do you need? Our goal is 150 minutes per week. So paano yun? 150 minutes per week. So that can be about 20 minutes a day. I mean, a day, 7 days a week. 7 minutes a day, 7 days a week. Or it can be 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Pwede rin siyang 50 minutes a day, medyo mahaba, pero 3 days a week. Okay? So at least you have to break down. Now, break down into 10 minutes segments. Yun siya. Okay? Now, another is physical activity in your life. Include physical activity in your life. And when you say this, we mean make it a priority. Dapat it would be a part of your routine, no? And then make it easy. Yung physical exercise natin or physical activity should be easy for you. Make it social, make it interesting, fun, and always, don't forget, always bear in mind, since it's COVID pandemic, you have to do it with the physical distancing, and then medyo you can much better siguro kung we'll do it outside, no? Okay. Next is the use of your brain. Ayan, socialization. No, you have to be ngayon, socialization. We can use our computer, our laptops, internets, phone. Yun, that's the way we can do the socialization, and also with the family member as well. Mental stimulation, we can have playing cards, no, Sudoku. Kung marunong na tayo mag-Sudoku, we can do some Sudoku. Okay? Next is physical activity. We mentioned it already. And then the brain. Sorry. Where's that? Nutrition, and then good sleep. Okay? Okay. Next is, yeah, I mentioned about this, be social. That would decrease depression, no? Make a relationship, social experiences, activity that would contribute to physical, mental health, and well-being, happiness, and this would also decrease your depression. Okay. So as I said earlier, you can shift to exercises in the brain, broadens the social, and then we can also do with, we can use our cell phones, no? Cell phones, smartphones, video games, listening to a good music, and listening to the current events. Sabi nga nila na all dogs can learn new tricks. Okay? And don't forget to be safe. Okay, stay safe. So we have masks, we have face shield. We can use our. You can use your helmets for motor vehicle safety. Yeah, so that can be one of the keys. Okay, and then know your numbers. Ano ba yung mga important numbers nating malaman? Of course, when you go to the hospital, you will better know ano ba ang cholesterol natin. So if it's more than 200, delikado na yan. That's more than more than the normal. So we have to really taper down our fat intake, cholesterol intake. The triglycerides of more than 150 is already less than 150, dapat lang, no? Pag more than 150, that's abnormal. The blood pressure should be at least 120 to 120 over 80. The blood sugar should be less than 100. The body mass index should be 18 to 25. And our waist circumference for men should be less than 40 and then less than 35 for the women. Okay, now, as I said earlier, you have to manage your stress. Now, how can you manage your stress? You change the situation. How can you manage the situation? You have to avoid the stressor. Dalawa lang kasi yan, stressor at saka, you have to avoid and accept. So you change the situation, you have to avoid the stressor and alter the stressor. Now, you change also your reaction. Paano? You accept the stressor and adapt to the stressor. Okay, that is how to manage your stress. Don't forget also to set aside your relaxation time. Connect with others. And don't forget yung sense of humor. Okay, that will unload your burden. Somehow, do something that you enjoy every day, as mentioned, no, kanina. Now, problem sometimes sa mga golden years, medyo nagdi-decrease na po yung time natin sa ating pagtulog. So you need to have a good sleep, a quality sleep, no, good quality ng sleep nito. And it is really very important because it is used for learning, memory. It can be for our metabolism and weight, for mood, heart health, and disease prevention. So it's really very important na magkaroon tayo ng enough sleep. Now, for sleep recommendations, we can use your bed. Use your bed for sleep and sex only. Okay? Now, ditch the screen. Some people would really go to sleep with monitors or with their cell phones. So, medyo mahihirapan talaga tayong matulog. Yan. And then restrict your time in bed if time spent in bed is lying awake. And then you exercise in the afternoon or early evening. Okay? Avoid caffeine. No caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol before going to bed. Then try to go to bed at the same time every night. So if, for example, every 9 o'clock, tulog na tayo. Yun na parang mayroon na tayong alarm sa ating. Then wake up the same time every morning. And keep in mind that daytime naps affects the nighttime sleep. So minsan kasi when we sleep, when we have a nap that is more than an hour, minsan up to 4, syempre naaapektuhan natin yung sleep natin sa gabi. Okay? So this one is take time for you. Me time, sabi nga, me time together with your loved ones, together with your spouses, ganyan. And then have a relaxation time, relax, laugh, and then create a bucket list. Okay? Be physically active. Sige. So, aging is inevitable. It's an inevitable process, talagang dadating sa buhay ng bawat isa sa atin ang aging. But by embracing a healthy lifestyle throughout life, you will have a greater ability to engineer a positive approach to aging process. Okay? So, in summary, we've been talking more about lifestyle. I will just give you the 8 principles of healthy lifestyle, which is from the Weimar Institute in California. New Start. N starts meaning nutrition. E stands for exercise. W stands for water. S for sunshine. T, temperance. A, air, R for rest, and trust in God. Okay? So, in conclusion, in the end, Abraham Lincoln says, it's not the years in your life that counts, it's the life in your years. Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Floresita. It's nice to have you here on our show. Now, okay, so I have here a few questions about aging gracefully. One of my first question is, why is gender-focused healthcare important for women? Is gender really that important?
Okay, it is important. The gender-focused healthcare is important for women because obviously men and women are different, right? So, what I mean, they are the healthcare is really designed to meet the unique healthcare needs of our women. So there are during this time may mga health issues tayo or health experience, like for example iba nga ang makeup ng genetic makeup or the of the composition of the women. So like for example yung hormonal imbalances. So in hormonal imbalances we have a symptoms of menopause, no? So may mga menopause, we have breast cancer, we have more of osteoporosis. So I think we have to talk about and take care of the health of the women when it comes to healthcare issues. Basically, because of the difference in the what do you call this? The hormones, genetic makeup of the hormonal imbalances. Okay, so sometimes we have, so babae, we have hot flashes, meron tayong night sweats, we have a vaginal dryness, and then we are more prone of obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and other health problems. Okay.
Wow, that's very interesting how, healthcare for men and women are quite different as they age. Now, let me ask you this. How can aging women practice active aging?
Okay, as I've said earlier, the lifestyle factor has a big contribution to a better health. So I've mentioned earlier the new start, but more, I think we have to go more on the yung physical activity. No? It's important for us not to neglect the physical activity. So at least you have to go for walking most of the time. So sabi nga natin, galaw-galaw. Okay? Now, don't forget also to engage in social activities. You need to have a communication and socialization in our lives, no? And then don't forget to eat healthy food. Yung mga vegetables, you have to need fruits and vegetables that are very nutritious. And at least we have to be positive, always positive about aging. Okay?
Of course, it's not advisable for older people to live alone. So, how can caregivers better support women in their aging years?
Okay. So, alam natin na as you grow old, yung mga aging women ay manipulative, right? Diba? So, aside from, mahirap to sa caregiver eh. So, aside from physical support na binibigay ng caregiver sa older adults, kailangan din natin yung emotional needs i-address natin. It's the major concern. So, the caregiver must be a good listener. No? Listen to the stories of the aging patients natin or the aging women, and then simply answer their questions. What counts best is the attitude, no? Dapat po pasensyosa, no? We need to have a patience. It's extremely important, no? It's a must. And then one must be effective in communication, no? Dapat meron din po siyang positive attitude and also a good sense of humor.
Wow, that's really interesting. As much as I want to delve further into this topic, that's about the time that we have, Dr. Floresita. I guess we just have to end it right here. Thank you so much for being part of our show. Now, We are winding down Rise Up and Shape Up for the last episode of the year. While 2020 may have been quite difficult, not only for us, the Philippines, but for the rest of the world, we helped each other cope, and Rise Up, Shape Up is the PSC Women in Sports contribution to this. Let us look back at the journey of Rise Up, Shape Up in this short recap video.
The Philippine Sports Commission has made great strides in advancing women's participation and leadership in Philippine sport. The Philippine Sports Commission will continue to build a strong sporting culture among the over 50 million women and girls across the country. We shall continue to strengthen programs for the participation of women and girls in sports, play, and physical activities as a means to develop character, personality, and positive outlook in life.
Sa kaibuturan nito ay kailangan nating alagaan ang ating sarili. Hindi natin mapapalitan ang ating kapaligiran. Nandyan ang COVID. Pero kailangan natin alagaan ang ating sarili at ito ay isang bagay na hindi natin dapat ikahiya, no? Kasi yung tinatawag natin na self-care, okay, nandito na tayo ngayon sa self-care, ay pangangalaga ng sarili. Hindi ibig sabihin na ako ang uunahin ko, lalo na kung may pamilya ko, pero ako rin, aalagaan ko rin ang sarili ko, hindi lang yung ibang tao, no? Sa ating kultura, parang masamang pakinggan yung unahin ko yung sarili ko. Hindi yan ang ating sinasabi, pero isali natin ang sarili natin sa pangangalaga.
It's a time for us to be more mindful, exactly what was being discussed, and more deliberate about what we need, want, are expected to do, you know. So I think we have to go on that journey individually, and I already mentioned best practices earlier, so anything that can be shared, I think is you know, a way for us also to see if it applies in our own lives.
Kailangan po nating ma-maximize kung ano yung kaya at pwede natin gawin ngayong pandemic. Maging resourceful and be creative as well. Don't be scared to try new things. You know, sometimes we unlock our potential when we're being challenged or when we don't have any more options.
Hi, my name's Aliyah. I am 6 years old and I came from Davao City. Even though it's pandemic, we can still do exercise like running, push-ups, and sit-up, and even one-handed push-ups sometimes. So people, that means rise up and shape up.
I am Karen, 14 years old, and from the province of Negros Oriental. I just started to practice yoga, and what I know is that the purpose of yoga is to foster harmony in the body, mind, and environment. Some benefits of yoga is to improve your posture, increase flexibility, builds muscle strength, boosts metabolism, increases blood flow, keep diseases at bay, and increase self-esteem.
So ang sabi nga natin, no, play is the highest expression of human development, for it alone is the expression of what is in the child's soul. And in PhilPlay, we really promote play because ang play, ang nasabi nga natin, play is a child's natural way of expressing himself. Pag naglalaro ang bata, hindi mo na kailangan turuan. Pusang lumalabas yung pagiging mapaglaro ng bata. And the value of play is that when they're playing, something internal or something that is inside of them is coming out. Whereas, you know, ang natural kasi sa mundo is a lot of people like ang parents, ang teacher, you know, they're all imposing into the child the shoulds, what they have to do, ganon. Pero when children are playing, it allows them to express what is inside of them. What is inside of them is expressed out. So it includes their thoughts, their feelings, their ideas. And when this is promoted, when this is supported, this is where the therapy of play comes in, because it gives them value.
So we should not give up on our fitness goals, and because there are plenty of ways to keep active and stay safe. Let's make sure that every day we continue to making physical activity a priority.
Another thing to remember when it comes to physical activity and exercise is you have to know yourself. What do you want? What exercises are you interested in? What are the things that you want to engage in that give you a positive feeling? Because that is important when you want to sustain this kind of behavior. No? It's just important to think about two things. Number one, your aerobic fitness, meaning how your ability to sustain physical activity for a long period of time. And this involves exercises like walking, jogging, swimming, biking. But it also involves daily activities such as gardening, window shopping, if it's retail therapy that works for you, or even stair climbing. Another aspect is your resistance, or strength, balance, power, those aspects. And for that, you have exercises such as body weight exercises, balls and bands if you have these, weights, kettlebells, dumbbells, and barbells. Some want to mix it up, CrossFit, high-intensity interval training. Do you do Pilates, yogi lattes, pole dancing, other recreational sports, and any kind of activity that gets you moving? You have to know yourself and what works for me.
The solution to COVID is the enhancement of your own immune system. We cannot keep on running away from a supposed enemy that we don't even know, that we don't even see. So what is important is that the defense that we should be focusing on is our own internal system. And that cannot be achieved. The immune system cannot be enhanced if you just address the physical body. You have to address the emotional state, you have to address the mental state, and you have to address the spiritual state.
We actually really do need to learn how to slow down. This is not something that we can take for granted. It is a skill that needs to be cultivated. And this is really just because of the world that we live in. A number of us tend to think that when we can't relax, it's some kind of personal failing. It's some kind of eccentricity that's unique to us. We say things like, oh, ganyan talaga ako. Ever since I was young, I could never sit still. I would get fidgety. I would always need to find something to do. And I'm going to invite you to consider that, no, it's not personal. It's just years of conditioning, because we live in a global society that puts such a high premium on productivity. We are implicitly and explicitly rewarded for being busy, for getting things done, for accomplishment, for achievement.
Sa tulong lang din po talaga ni Coach din, kasi lahat po talaga ng mga sakripisyo niya, kasi hindi po basta-basta hindi ko po basta-basta mararating yung ganun pagka wala kang taong sumusuporta sa iyo. Walang taong tumitingin sa iyo kung ano magiging posibilidad, magiging ano ka in the future. Walang mangyayari sa inyo ganito pag walang taong nakapaligid sa iyo. So yun, si Coach din yung naging pangalawang magulang ko din. So number one, dito po pala talaga sa Kano Kayak.
Sa akin po, sa 17 years experience ko as a coach, ang pinaka best achievement na masasabi ko is yung from grassroots, no? From nothing, like 9 years old pa lang sila, hanggang sa napa-champion mo sila sa SEA Games at saka sa World Championship ng Dragon Boat. Yun po yung best achievement ko. Yung mag-aantay ka talaga ng bunga.
Greatest moment, so marami yun. Marami yun ko. Well, sa coaching, syempre, I do basic archery sa mga, yung parang grassroots development program dito sa LGU namin. So, I cater to public school students na interesado matuto mag-archery. So, doon pa lang, parang ano na yan na pag na-impart ko po yung kaalaman ko po sa archery at saka nakuha ng atleta na tinuruan ko and mag-develop siya, mag-progress yung ano niya, skills niya, then mag-attend ng mga tournaments and manalo ng medal. It will take time, but at least the process is, you know, it's one of the moments na maganda.
First of all, we cannot pour out from an empty cup. Therefore, if we are to give of ourselves as coaches and to be effective in the process, we need to take care of ourselves.
Make sure to add breathing exercises in your routine, as these will help you prepare for your labor and delivery. Practicing breathing exercises is also a good way to reduce stress and anxiety and connect with your baby.
Ask her what she needs from you. Okay? Medyo kinakailangan ng extra thoughtfulness on your end. Not that she is really seeking that much assistance, but pregnancy in some cases may not be as easy as it is for the other moms. And because of that, tayo ho na mga husbands na constantly nasa tabi niya, dapat ho very, very observable. Yung palagi ho natin siyang tinatanong kung meron ba siyang kailangan, kakamustahin natin siya kung ano ang nararamdaman niya, and then if there is any discomfort that she's feeling at that moment, then tanungin natin kung ano ito at kung mayroon ba tayong may itulong dito.
Labor is like a journey, no? So it's a journey towards meeting your baby. So yung journey na yan starts in pregnancy. And then the hard work lalo na will kick in labor. Talagang the woman's body has to be prepared for this marathon. Kaya important talaga yung exercise. Important talaga yung pag-alaga ng sarili. Important yung relationship natin with our body.
Pregnancy and childbirth should be holistic, and therefore there is an integration of the body, the mind, and the spirit para balanse yung pregnancy and childbirth.
We're going to be focusing on embodying the qualities of a mountain. Because if we think about it, mountains are these majestic features of the landscape. They just rest easily on the bones of the earth. But at the same time, they rise effortlessly towards the heavens. And if we think about it, mountains are exposed to the elements. Their sides, their flanks have to face fierce winds, have to face lightning strikes. They go through landslides, they go through earthquakes, they go through wildfires. And yet, through all these turbulent changes, the mountain continues to sit serenely on the landscape. And so in this meditation, we're going to be cultivating, we're going to be marshaling, we're going to be creating a felt sense of the qualities of the mountain. And as we do this during these short meditation sessions, what we're really doing is cultivating an internal resource that we can draw on when there are real-life emergencies that require these same qualities.
Health is an investment, especially what you put in your body.
Water intake, okay? If you are physically active, you are also at risk in developing dehydration, no? Which has a lot of detrimental effects in the body that can hinder performance. Make sure to keep hydrated. Always drink fluids, no? Like a plain water, to keep you on track.
Naniniwala po ba kayo sa kasabihan
na you are what you eat. Ibig sabihin po noon, yung mga kinakain daw po natin ay siya magiging ikaw o ako. Bakit po? Dahil yung ating pong mga pagkain ay malaking kinalaman yan para po ma-build yung ating katawan. So dahil po nagkakaroon ng breakdown yung mga tissues natin at kailangan po ng repairing ng ating katawan, pati po yung organs natin, ito daw po ay lahat nakukuha natin sa ating pagkain.
So emotional anger is sudden and instantaneous. Out of nowhere, you suddenly feel hungry. While physical hunger doesn't happen instantaneously. It usually builds up over time. You kind of feel it in the beginning, but you could ignore it. And eventually, when your stomach grumbles and there's really a sensation of emptiness in the stomach, that's real. However, in emotional hunger, there is a specific craving for food items. So it's not just, okay, I need to fill up my stomach so that to silence this growling or rumbling in my stomach, but I need to eat a chocolate. I need to have that bag of chips, okay? And the physical hunger, of course, is time-bound also, usually occurs several hours after the last meal. However, emotional hunger does not have that same effect. No, it's independent of time. You can actually feel hungry right after your last meal, or you ate already a full meal, but you still feel hungry and you still have to reach out, let's say, for that glass of wine, those chocolate bars or chips or whatever.
What I admire most in her is her humility. And this will inspire me more to have a fruitful 5 more years with her, and we will be aiming for another 10% improvement in her performance. More power to you, Adeline.
Yung lahat naman yung pagkapanalo ko na yon, at saka yung mga sumunod pa. At hanggang ngayon, no, yung pakikipag-compete ko pa rin, it just shows na kaya ng Pilipino, unang-una kaya ng Pilipino, kaya ng mga babae, na ang larong pagbubuhat ng barbell ay hindi lang pang lalaki. In fact, ito nga syempre si Heidelin Diaz, babae din yon. Weightlifting, di ba? Hindi naman siya malaki. In fact, nasa lower weight category siya. Alam nyo, na pwede itong laruin at pwedeng salihan ng mga babae.
Proud ako kay mama, pero hindi ako yung tipong talagang, oh may ganito si mama, interview, alam ko kailangan ganyan. Kasi, hindi naman ganun ka-importante yan kay mama. Dapat alam ko, dapat number 1, dapat ganun. Hindi kami ganun. So, pero kapag never ko ikakahiya si mama kasi tinatanong sa akin na ano daw feeling kapag pag yung mother ko, PWD, sabi ko, wala. Nanay ko, bakit? Ano bang iba ng mother na PWD sa mother na nakakatayo? Parehas lang.
We naturally know what to say when somebody we care about has made a mistake. But when we make a mistake, the kinds of things we say to ourselves, okay, tanga-tanga mo, bakit mo ginawa yan, don't you ever learn, okay, just the sheer harshness of the inner commentary. The things we say to ourselves when we're struggling, when we're having a bad time, the things we say to ourselves we would never say to another human being. Or maybe we would, but we'd have to be pretty upset. So again, my point in saying all this is that self-compassion is not as easy as it sounds. It's not as easy as it looks. For many of us, it's not the automatic. Okay? What's automatic for us is self-castigation, self-flagellation, to sort of bully and criticize ourselves inside our heads. Okay? That's how we've kind of grown up with it. And the really sad thing is, when we're not compassionate towards ourselves, it actually doesn't help. When you're beating on someone who's already down, it doesn't help. In fact, many times it makes things worse. And so when we're in a bad space, let's say we've made a mistake, hating on you is not going to fix anything. In fact, it's going to just add another layer of suffering on top of an already painful and difficult situation. And so when we practice self-compassion, it's really not about being soft on ourselves. It's not about tolerating mistakes. It's really just recognizing that we're human. Okay? It's literally just offering to ourselves what we would offer to another human being.
Rise up, shape up. The Philippine Sports Commission is offering you this vibrant and virtual platform to connect with each other, to exchange ideas on sports, fitness, and wellness, and to jumpstart a new sporting culture that will lay the foundation of a holistic development of a new generation of Filipino women athletes.
Rise up and shape up. Rise up and shape up. Rise up and shape up. Rise up and shape up.
2020 has opened up a lot of opportunities for us to reset and grow despite the changing situation. We are all thankful to have come this far. Thank you, our dear viewers, for supporting us when we began on October 28th and staying with us up to now. On behalf of the PSC and Women in Sports, thank you. Of course, an episode of Rise Up, Shape Up will not be complete without our last segment. To lead a guided meditation on cultivating gratitude is White Space Mind and Body Wellness Studio co-founder and yoga and meditation teacher, Miss Aileen Tupad.
All right, so once again, good day, and thank you to all of you for tuning in to our final episode of Rise Up, Shape Up. And for this final episode, I was invited to lead something along the lines of gratitude, which is really a beautiful way to end things. So just for those of you who happen to be joining us for the first time and you're not very familiar with mindfulness practices or practices like gratitude practices, I'm just going to say a couple of words to give you a bit of a context, okay? So in the mindfulness meditation tradition, there is a distinct but related set of techniques which are categorized as the cultivation practices. And just like their name implies, they're about cultivating our ability to radiate, embody, express particular attitudes, particular qualities, which are valued in cultures all around the world, because when we get to embody them, they make life better. There's more joy, there's more satisfaction, there's more delight to life. And so there are cultivation practices for kindness, for forgiveness, for equanimity, for generosity, for compassion, and for gratitude, which is the focus of our final session together. And the basic premise of the cultivation set of practices, the basic idea is we can actually train ourselves to embody these qualities. Because for most of us, it's a bit of an implicit assumption that, we have to be born in a certain way. And so, if I'm not that kind of personality, if I'm not that kind of temperament, then, I'm not going to be able to access those qualities. But the underlying belief here is that, no, it doesn't matter what kind of personality you have. It doesn't really matter what kind of temperament you have. You become kind because you practice being kind. You become grateful because you practice being grateful. So it's actually a very optimistic view of human nature. It assumes a certain malleability, a certain belief, a certain trust in our ability to change for the better. Okay. Now, when it comes to the gratitude practices, the question is, why practice gratitude? Well, actually, it's not as easy to be grateful as most people think. I mean, it's warm and fluffy, but if we examine our daily lives, so much of the time we take things for granted. There are so many gifts and graces that populate our daily living. The fact of our health, the fact that we have families, the fact that we have friends, the fact that we have resources. But for the most part, we just kind of go along through life, assuming that, yeah, I have that and dapat lang. Okay, so there's a sense of entitlement or a sense of that's just the way it is. Okay. Now, when things are okay, fine, no skin off your nose if you're going to take life for granted. But when life gets hard, when there are challenges, which is the other word for 2020. So 2020 is synonymous with challenges. So when life gets difficult in the way that life has been difficult for so many of us around the world this year, that tendency to just overlook what's actually working for us can really make things a lot worse than they seem. So scientists have pointed out that human beings have what is called a negativity bias. So our brains are designed in such a way that we selectively perceive what's going wrong. And many of you have had this experience. Say you have an ordinary day where 10 things happen to you, 9 of which are good things. Guess what? When you get home, all you're going to talk about with your partner or your family or your parents is the one thing that went wrong. That's our negativity bias. Human beings are designed to fixate on what could go wrong, to remember better what goes wrong. So the negativity bias shows up in our cognition in so many different ways. But the point is, if you have an objectively difficult situation like COVID-19, and then you add a layer that's coming from our negativity bias, it can really lead to a very disempowering, a very depressing, a very bleak experience of life. Okay? So you've probably heard of the phrase rose-colored glasses. And fortunately, that's not what we have by design. What we have are glasses which tint everything we see in the worst possible way. So when we are in difficult situations, that negativity bias is going to give us a subjectively worse experience. And so this is where gratitude can make such a huge difference in our experience of life and in our quality of life. Because gratitude is really just leveling the playing field, because we have a bias to see life from a negative perspective. So when we practice gratitude, when we start actively, when we start intentionally trying to focus on the good things, that just balances the negativity bias. So in a way, we finally kind of get to see life from a level playing field. So gratitude is just offsetting that negativity bias. Now, the other way that it benefits us is that it can help us find meaning even when things are hard. When we focus on things to be grateful for, we're not just enduring, we're not just surviving, we're not just tolerating challenge. We actually begin to reframe our challenges. We begin to see the gifts, so to speak. We begin to see how, these initiatory fires are helping us, grow as individuals, how they help us become more resourceful, how they help us realize what really matters. But it takes intention. It takes effort to be grateful. But if we do it regularly as a practice, it does become easier over time. Okay, so what we're going to do for the rest of our time together is we're going to do a gratitude practice. So find a way of sitting that allows you to be upright and alert while also remaining at ease. Just roll your shoulders forwards, upwards, and back. Feel free to repeat the movement a few times, reverse the direction if needed. You can even move your head gently from side to side. And then just allow your shoulders to drop down towards your waist. You can rest your hands on top of your knees or anywhere on your lap that's comfortable for the shoulders. Soften the gaze, or just close your eyes altogether. And just to ease into this gratitude practice, let's just take a few moments to reconnect with the breath. So breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And now, bring to mind the last 8 months. The last 8 months or 9 months since COVID-19 broke out. And for many of you, the first things that will come to mind will be the challenges, the losses, the difficulties, the people that we lost, the jobs that we lost, the companies that we closed. Just the massive suffering that we've witnessed in our own lives and in the lives of others. And if those are the things that are coming to mind for you right now, just realize that that's natural, that's normal. It's just how our brain works. It's the first thing that it will focus on, the problems. But as you cast your mind, as you look back on these last 8 to 9 months, see if you can begin to find the gifts. What were the gifts and the graces that 2020 gave to you underneath the rubble of loss, underneath the grief and the anger and the inconvenience? What gifts, what miracles, what epiphanies did the year bring your way? Did it give you the gift of realizing what really matters? Did it give you an opportunity to reconnect with family and friends that you hadn't seen in years or heard from in years? Did it allow you to discover just how resilient you can be? How you're stronger and more resourceful than you ever gave yourself credit for? Did it give you a chance to discover new facets of yourself? And so even if it seems challenging, and you begin to find the gifts and the graces of 2020, if you look back over the 8 months, not all of it was bleak. Not all of it was bad. There were also moments of delight. There were also moments of joy. And so maybe just bring to mind 2 to 3 of your favorite gifts from 2020. Two things that you learned, or 2 things that you discovered, or 2 things that you developed as a skill or as a quality. And as you do that, notice the changes in your physical experience. Notice how it feels in your stomach and your chest and your face. When you can begin to be present to the gifts and the graces of this year. Now let that go. And now shift your attention to bringing to mind someone in your life for whom you are particularly grateful for this year. Somebody who really came through for you in a moment of challenge, in a moment of difficulty. Someone who in their own way was a hero. Maybe they stepped in and helped you financially when you lost your job, if you lost your job. Maybe they helped you find resources when your business, if you have a business, was struggling. Maybe they kept you company if you were living alone in the first few weeks of the pandemic. So just bringing to mind the people who supported you in some way in the last 8 to 9 months. The ones who made you smile, the ones who stood by you. You can pick just one person who stands above the rest. Although usually when you start thinking of one, suddenly you realize that there are so many people. Just becoming present to the fact that you're embedded in this network of care. Just becoming present to the fact that you are loved. And noticing how it feels once again in your body when you can be present to the many things that you can be grateful for from other people. And if you wish, you can send them a silent thanks in the privacy of your mind right now. Now let that go. And now, begin to focus your attention on in what ways can you appreciate yourself, given everything that's happened this year. What things have you done? What things have you accomplished that you can acknowledge, that you can celebrate, that you can be grateful for? In what ways have you become a stronger and more resilient person? In what ways have you become more resourceful? In what ways have you stepped out of your comfort zone to do something for someone else? And once again, see if you can actually thank yourself in the privacy of your mind. And as you do that, slowly become present to how your internal experience changes. When you can find something to appreciate in about yourself, when you can express that appreciation. And slowly let that go. Take a few moments to pause once more. Check if there are any observations or insights that came up for you while doing that practice. And before we end, I'll just share this beautiful quote. It's from an anonymous person. It's not happiness that brings us gratitude. It's gratitude that brings us happiness. And slowly just taking your time. If you happen to have closed your eyes, you can open them now. And so on that note of gratitude, I thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure and privilege to have accompanied you for all these sessions, for all these episodes. And with gratitude in my heart, I wish you a beautiful and blessed holiday season ahead. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Miss Aileen. Indeed, gratitude is key to living a happy, contented, and fulfilling life. And this is something that I'm grateful for is your weekly videos. Namaste. So here's Rise Up, Shape Up, practicing gratitude through this special thank you video.
Maraming salamat po sa mga taga-subaybay ng syempre Rise Up, Shape Up, Women in Sports, na programa syempre ng Philippine Sports Commission. Thank you, Chairman Butch Ramirez and its commissioners. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nagtatrabaho at sumusuporta para sports. At syempre yung ating National Philippine Paralympic Committee, Mr. Barredo, Coach Wawi Torres, yung mga board ng PPC at syempre yung staff, si Dennis at saka si Irene, at saka syempre po yung mga co-athletes ko. Merry Christmas po sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat. We are now at the end of today's episode. Again, thank you everyone for your support and enjoy the upcoming holidays. Keep safe and healthy. Rise Up, Shape Up is brought to you by the Philippine Sports Commission Women in Sports. We would like to thank our partner PAGCOR and our event sponsor Pocari Sweat Philippines. We'd also like to acknowledge the PSC Board of Commissioners, Chairman William I. Ramirez, Commissioners Arnold Agustin, Ramon Fernandez, Celia Kiram, and Charles Raymond Maxey. Thank you for tuning in again. This is your host, Clarissa. Happy holidays, everyone! See you next year!